Why billionaires are preparing for a crypto boom. What if the biggest wealth transfer in modern history has already started, and most people haven't even noticed? While headlines argue about inflation, interest rates, and stock market swings, something much quieter is happening in the background. Billionaires, institutions, even governments, are positioning themselves for what could become one of the most explosive financial shifts of our time. Not slowly. Not casually. But strategically and aggressively. And the question is, why now? Why are some of the wealthiest individuals on Earth suddenly paying attention to crypto again? These are people who have access to information, data, and networks the average investor never sees. They don't gamble. They prepare. So, what exactly are they seeing that most people aren't? And more importantly, what happens if they're right? Because if this isn't just another hype cycle, then we're not talking about small gains. We're talking about a fundamental shift in how money itself works. To understand what's happening today, you have to go back to 2008. The global financial system nearly collapsed. Banks failed. Governments stepped in. And trillions of dollars were printed to keep the system alive. That moment changed everything. It exposed a truth most people had never questioned: that money isn't as stable as it seems. Out of that crisis, a new idea was born. Bitcoin. A digital asset with no central authority. No bank. No government control. At first, it was dismissed. Then it was mocked. Then it was ignored. But quietly, year after year, it kept growing. From a few cents, to thousands, to tens of thousands of dollars. And each time it crashed, people declared it dead. Yet each time, it came back stronger. But here's where things get interesting. The narrative around crypto has started to change. This is no longer just a tech experiment. It's becoming something much bigger. Billionaires aren't preparing for crypto because it's trendy. They're preparing because they see a shift in the global financial system. A shift away from traditional money, toward digital scarcity. Think about it. Governments can print more dollars. Central banks can increase supply overnight. But Bitcoin? It has a fixed supply. 21 million coins. No exceptions. No shortcuts. For the first time in history, there exists an asset that cannot be inflated away. And that changes everything. Because when money becomes scarce, its value behaves differently. This is why some of the biggest names in finance have started treating Bitcoin not as a gamble, but as digital gold. A store of value. A hedge against uncertainty. But that's only the surface. Because this isn't just about Bitcoin. It's about the entire infrastructure being built around it. While most people focus on price, billionaires are watching something else. Adoption. Major financial institutions are quietly integrating crypto into their systems. Payment networks are experimenting with blockchain. Governments are exploring digital currencies. And large corporations are beginning to hold crypto on their balance sheets. This isn't speculation anymore. It's integration. And here's the twist most people miss. By the time something feels safe to the public, the biggest gains have already happened. Billionaires don't wait for certainty. They position themselves before it arrives. And right now, they're positioning. So, what exactly are they preparing for? A convergence. Three powerful forces coming together at the same time. The first is monetary expansion. Governments around the world continue to increase money supply. Debt levels are rising. Currencies are slowly losing purchasing power. And investors are searching for alternatives. The second is technological evolution. Blockchain technology is becoming faster, more scalable, and more efficient. What once seemed complicated is becoming user-friendly. And as technology improves, adoption accelerates. The third is institutional entry. Large financial players are no longer on the sidelines. They're building products, launching funds, creating access points for billions of dollars to flow into crypto markets. When these three forces combine, you get something powerful. A perfect setup for exponential growth. But here's where things get even more interesting. Markets don't move when everyone agrees. They move when perception shifts. And right now, perception is changing. Slowly, then suddenly. The same people who once dismissed crypto are now studying it, allocating to it, even advocating for it. And when capital starts moving at scale, it doesn't trickle. It floods. But this isn't a guaranteed outcome. And that's exactly why it's still early. Crypto remains volatile. Prices can swing dramatically in short periods. Regulation is still evolving. Governments could impose restrictions that impact growth. Technology, while powerful, is still developing. And not every project will survive. In fact, many won't. There's also the psychological risk. Fear. Hype. FOMO. These emotions drive markets just as much as fundamentals. And they can lead people to make poor decisions. Billionaires understand this. They don't go all in blindly. They allocate strategically. They manage risk. They think long-term. Because while the upside can be massive, the path there is rarely smooth. And here's the reality most people don't want to hear. Opportunities like this come with uncertainty. That's the price of being early. So, what does all of this mean? It means we may be standing at the edge of a financial transformation. One that redefines how value is stored, transferred, and understood. But the real question isn't whether crypto will grow. It's who will be positioned when it does. Because history has a pattern. The biggest opportunities often look uncertain at first. They feel risky, uncomfortable, easy to ignore, until suddenly they're obvious. By then, it's too late to be early. And the people who prepared in silence are the ones who benefit the most. So as the world debates, hesitates, and waits, billionaires are already making their move. The only question left is, will you understand what's happening before everyone else does? Thank you and subscribe now.